For the ads, the dudes that do the most like conversion rates are guys that look like 15, even though they're like 20 years old or like 25. So there's this one guy named like Jordy, and he just looks like a little kid, and they put him in scenes so it looks like this little kid is like having sex, but it makes a lot of money. So
that kind of stuff has an appeal.
Apparently, yeah. We have this guy, his name's Jimmy Michaels. He looks 13, but they put him in stuff because he looks like that. His ads do well because he looks...
Do you think that draws like pedophiles?
But it's weird though, because it's not... I think it draws predatory women, because there are a lot of older women that like, I want someone young and pure that I can corrupt. It's also, I think it's pedophilic men who like seeing young boys as well. You can turn them into whales, purchasing a lot. You're gonna get fucking arrested.
Recall Dylan Rice. Rice is a senior scriptwriter for Trans Angels and other pornography production companies and websites owned and run by MindGeek, the porn giant that's famous for operating Pornhub. Some say MindGeek, now rebranding as ALO, holds a near monopoly on internet pornography.
Now that I know what MindGeek is, it's the biggest.
Huge, yeah.
It's the biggest, so...
Yeah, there's no other company that's that big, yeah.
I imagine that means that most traffic goes there.
Yeah, I would say essentially they have a monopoly. Yeah. Like even our biggest competitors, they come to us to manage them. So like we'll have a competing site and they'll be like, hey, can you like write our descriptions? Can you organize our videos? Because there's nobody else that they can go to, and we're just the biggest. So we set the standard usually. Everyone hates us because we're the biggest, but they have to work with us.
Rice also produces many of the video advertisements that appear on porn sites. Rice met with our undercover reporter and divulged to her, and unwittingly the world, what kinds of porn ads get the most clicks and bring in the most money on MindGeek sites.
So, for the ads, the dudes that do the most like conversion rates are guys that look like 15, even though they're like 20 years old or like 25. So there's this one guy named like Jordy, and he just looks like a little kid, and they put him in scenes so it looks like this little kid is like having sex, and like, oh, I want to be that little kid, like if I had a babysitter or some bullshit. But a lot of the times these the women will be like, I don't want to have sex with this kid, he looks like 15, it's weird. But it makes a lot of money, so
that kind of stuff has an appeal.
Apparently, yeah. And then you have female talent, they're like, oh my god, I want to corrupt that little boy, that's so hot.
Do you think that kind of stuff like encourages child predatory behavior?
I don't know. I feel like with everything, it's got to be a gray area where it's kind of more complex than like yes or no. Well, on the one hand, it has to be an outlet for somebody, right? And like maybe it's good enough that that's the only place they get it, but on the other hand, it kind of normalizes it, right? So it could go either way.
Rice admits the audiences for the gray area ads he produces include young teens and pedophilic men.
We have this guy, his name's Jimmy Michaels. He looks 13, but they put him in stuff because he looks like that. But what are we gonna do? Like not shoot him because he looks that young? If you're leaning into it, if you're like, you know, putting like a little hat with a fan on top of him, right, and like a little stuffed animal, then it's gonna be like, hey, it's questionable. But if you're just dressing him like a normal person, you can get away with it.
That's true. Yeah. Who do you think the audience is on like videos where the actor looks 13?
I think it's a lot of like young teens, like boys, that imagine themselves in that scenario. And like, I think it's a lot of, how do I say this? It's a lot of Indians. Okay, our largest market is India, one of them. It's US and then India. Yeah, it's crazy. They're like 36%. And a lot of them see like the little ads and they immediately just think like, oh, American woman, young boy. And they want to be that boy. Like they don't really have the same perspective of like age differences as we do here, because like they have like arranged marriage and stuff like that. I'll show you Jimmy Michaels. That's him. Right? Exactly.
I would feel wrong watching
That's
that.
a lot of people will not shoot with him because of that. His ads do well. because he looks.
Do you think that draws like pedophiles?
But it's weird though because it's not. I think it draws predatory women because there are a lot of older women that like I want someone young and pure that I can corrupt.
Still a pedophile, right?
Yes.
Sort. I mean, yeah.
Yes, and then it's also I think it's pedophilic men who like seeing young boys as well.
I feel like someone drawn to children would have kind of more of an insatiable, desperate appetite. Wouldn't they be more likely to pay for something?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that might draw in.
You can turn them into whales, purchasing a lot. So whale just means you spend a lot of money. So like there's like it comes from the idea of like small fish doesn't spend a lot of money. Catch a bigger fish, dolphins spend a little, and whales spend a lot of money. There's another one. What's her name? This is the one where we shot a scene, and she was supposed to be in a like a playhouse for her daughter, but the way it's set up, she looked like it. Jesus Christ! I'm gonna get fucking arrested. I have had conversations where, I mean, even in the industry, we're just be like, oh, you know, we're all gonna disappear. This is bad. We're gonna get, you know, banned. But like, there's no way that's possible.
Alo did respond to our request for comment, stating that the platform is made by adults and for adults.